Does Superman have genitals?
That looks venomous.
That's got to be like a rhinoceros or something.
Expecto Patronum!
Welcome back to another episode of the Best Boys Podcast. My name is Preston.
And I'm Jeremy.
And like I already said, this is the Best Boys Podcast.
And I'll say it again. This is the Best Boys Podcast.
Same podcast, same time, same charm.
Absolutely.
Love that.
What? Good start.
Good morning, YouTubers. Have you heard about Snyder's Butt?
No, but I've heard about Snyder's Nut.
Both controversial topics, but what we will be talking about today is the Snyder Cut.
Just the chaos that surrounds this
Yeah.
4-hour epic.
Recently got a trailer within the last week or so.
Yeah.
New black and white trailer.
Black and white trailer. Which
Love
is
that.
so goofy.
Bro, that's art.
It's, yeah.
I
That's Zack
love-
Snyder's art for you.
Yeah, I love being artistic and stylizing my things. I really love the tint effect in After Effects and
Yeah,
Premiere.
absolutely.
You know, it maps all black colors to black and maps all white colors to white, and it's just like hella gray.
It's just such a weird move.
I've said this before off pod, but it's just the most like high school or film school like fake artistic thing of like, oh, this means something because the lack of color in this world, and we are all just gray, and there's black and white. And,
When somebody has to do a noir film in film school, they're like, so I make any movie and I put a black and white filter on it.
black and white filter, crank the contrast up, and we are looking nice. As much top down lighting as possible.
And then some bad narration.
Yes. Narration. And then if you can afford it, like one of the Red Giant film grain plugins. There's literally a plugin actually. It's part of the Universe plugin that's just called like RG Noir or something. And there's just like 8 different versions of black and white.
As there should be.
Yeah, no, I mean I've used it before.
Yeah.
I used it for the old Radio Man voice. Yeah, I mean that aside, I've said this multiple times as well. I think his whole black and white thing, besides him just being pretentious,
Martha!
he wants to cover up the bad visual effects. And that's not to hate on like the people doing the visual effects specifically, because they're doing fine. It's just that there's not enough time and there's not enough money to make it look as good as it could.
Yeah, it's not finished yet.
Exactly.
They're still working on it. Probably won't get released till late next year.
Yeah, and even if they took another year or two, I think 2 years they could make it look really good actually. But
they're down to 1 year. It's all a grind, and they've got to undo all the bad visual effects from the original cut.
Yeah, so which that's probably already done.
Yeah,
like they've undone it, like all the shit that they need to, whether that's deleting the footage or like undoing the Steppenwolf, but now they have to put in the new stuff, which is should take even longer, but it's gonna be less.
Yeah, the brand new Steppenwolf.
Which does looks better,
but it looks like he's magnetic and rolled around in a silverware drawer.
He looks like the Destroyer from Thor 1, but make it edgier.
Yeah,
like make it punk rock.
Give it a face.
It's sharp and has a face. Yeah. Like the edges are pointy. Yeah, the silverware drawer.
I mean, let's talk about the hot topic though. Deathstroke's mohawk.
Oh my god. That doesn't even look good on like even if they gave that to like
outdated. That's 2015 hairstyle at the latest.
Yeah. Well, and even if they gave it to like a younger character like a Robin or something, still like no,
it's not what that character is.
No.
And it's such a I get Deathstroke isn't trying to hide his identity or anything, but like
pretty identifiable.
It's so identifiable.
Yeah. I do like that he has the all white hair. I think that's
I mean that's Slade. That's the right step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm down with it.
Yeah.
But
now the mohawks, it's the same thing as the Hawkeye in Endgame. It's like
why
does he have that hair?
Why does he have to prove that he's like
He's different. He's edgy.
He's on the edge.
He's literally, Hawkeye is just Deathstroke light.
Oh, for sure.
He's just killing
100%.
people across the world.
Yeah, his family dies. He's like, you know what? Now I'm gonna murder people.
Murder some MFs. Yeah, I'm curious how much of Slade will be in it. I'm sure they'll make that post-credit scene a part of the movie.
Yeah, because they filmed. He I think filmed another scene before too.
Oh, that's right.
So I think he maybe was included in the 4 minutes of new footage.
Maybe he will have a cameo in the same way that Batman had a cameo in Suicide Squad, where it's
That's
like
what I'm thinking as well.
maybe even a flashback, if not like maybe instead of Batman chasing that random robber at the beginning, he's like fighting with Deathstroke and a parademon just kills both of them.
There's a rumor going around that the reason Joker and Deathstroke are back is that there's a scene in Arkham.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or for the nightmare sequence.
Or for the nightmare sequence, but I don't think we're getting a nightmare sequence, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The trailer has a scene that's the nightmare sequence that shows the destroyed Hall of Justice.
Yeah.
Which makes me think either that's the only scene and it's just as quick as Batman v Superman scene, or we're gonna get more. Because I think that scene ties in with the scene where Flash is like in the Speed Force on that like terrain, like of just nothing. I feel like that's him going back in time to Batman v Superman. Which that actually interests me because it's like, okay, this is very new. We did not get any of that.
That's a story thread that they planted in Batman v Superman that went
actually would have payoff. Yeah. That'd be interesting. Something in Batman v Superman being like actually having a point.
Connected. A lot of people are like, he's doing this and he's gonna get sequels. People are saying that there's the possibility that he will get 3 more movies in his universe if this does well.
I mean, I don't disagree that he's going to get more work in DC, but I don't know if he's going to get direct sequels just because they can't get that cast again.
No.
Because
the cast doesn't really want to do it.
Cavill definitely doesn't want to. Cavill's like, yeah, do the Snyder Cut because I filmed this, but he does not want to be a part of a Man of Steel 2 that's not good.
No, yeah, he doesn't.
He's not going to sign another contract.
I don't think he wants to be. Honestly, I don't think he wants to be part of Zack Snyder's version of Superman.
He would rather do a Superman movie than a Man of Steel sequel.
Exactly.
Because those are two different
things.
For
sure. There have been rumors going around that J.J. Abrams is in talks to do the next Superman movie.
Oh, I like that. I'm okay with that. I thought you were going to say, like, immediately my head went to J.J. Abrams going to finish the Snyder Cut just because we've already been. And I was like, no!
Yeah, so, like, I honestly don't think Henry Cavill would come back. I don't think Ray Fisher would come back. I think it's going to be hard to get Ray Fisher back.
Maybe actually he would because Zack Snyder's treating him so well.
As long as Jeff Johns isn't attached.
Yeah. Who was worse in that situation? Was it Jeff Johns or was it Joss Whedon?
Both.
Just both. Straight
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Garbage. But we've been new about Joss Whedon.
Yeah, that's not a shocker in any way. And like Gal Gadot's obviously going to continue being Wonder Woman, but well, no, she seems like she likes Zack Snyder.
Oh, she'll keep going. She'll keep going. I think her and Ezra 100% will keep going.
Ezra's the only reason he's going to keep going is Zack Snyder's the only person keeping him attached to DC.
He's the only person keeping him at a career.
Yeah.
I think if he wasn't attached to a bunch of big Warner Bros. Stuff, that he would have gotten canceled.
Yeah, he did beat up a woman.
He chokeslammed a lady.
It's not cool to chokeslam anybody, but like it's even worse when it's a guy like chokeslamming a famous man doing it to like a bystander.
And it's like, I don't know all the context. The clip, it sounds like she's egging him on.
She's being annoying or whatever.
But man, and I think the rumor was that he was drunk.
Which is not a great excuse.
Like
that's a good excuse for you get in a fight with your friend. Yeah. It's like, oh, sorry, bro. But like with other people involved, not great.
And you're a celebrity. That's so bad for PR.
Yeah. My favorite paparazzi video of like a drunk celebrity freak out is one of the paparazzis like up in Tobey Maguire's face, being like, Toby, blah, 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 tell me about something, and he's like, get out of the way so I can close this damn door. Like, he literally said the Spider-Man line about the damn door, shuts the door to his car, and then just, like, accelerates so quickly, like, probably hit somebody. But
no matter what happens between now and release, I'm going to watch it. Because I want to be able, That's why I watch every damn superhero movie. I want to be able to have a proper opinion, and if it's shit, I want to be able to talk shit.
You want to be able to talk about it, yeah. I honestly wish that they wouldn't have announced it when they did. I wish they would have kept it a secret for a while, because now it like you said, I'm still gonna watch it, but I kind of want to hear nothing else.
Yeah,
like I want to go in like a little bit fresh, which you already can. I mean, I've already seen a version of the movie, so it's kind of hard to do that. But it sounds really nice right now. But theoretically, let's say this comes out in like late summer or the fall.
Yeah, which is probably where it's gonna fall.
By then, we're gonna have had Wonder Woman, hopefully Black Widow, Fast 9, James Bond, like a bunch of like big movies that'll finally like appease our appetite.
They'll most likely somehow find a release. Like I don't foresee any of those getting delayed past that point.
Yeah. In the next 6 months, they will come out, because that's what they're slated for right now.
Yeah, be it them doing Wonder Woman the same way they're doing Wonder Woman with
Black Widow
side by side, so they could do Black Widow that exact same way, which I could easily see happen.
Oh, but like I said, we'll have plenty of blockbusters
Exactly.
by then, so it's not going.
So this 4-hour movie is not going to be nearly as.
I'm not going to be in such a rush to go see it.
Which is why I think I'll wait until it's all 4 hours and watch it in one sitting and want to kill myself. But
that's smart, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things when it would have been wild if when they announced it back in like the beginning of quarantine, if they had it ready.
Yeah.
Like they've just been cooking it that whole time.
And they were like, it's 4 parts, 1 part the next 4 months.
Yeah.
In whenever they announced it, I
feel like April. Like it was.
I was thinking April to July, somewhere in between there. It was definitely summer.
I think it was either April or June, because it was before Vegas opened back up. Because we were still on lockdown, like full lockdown.
Okay,
like
so
phase 1.
Yeah, so if they were like, okay, so it's June right now. Next week, the first episode or the first part comes out. You'll get one July, August, and September as well, and then October you can go in and watch them all as one.
Or maybe even do a theatrical, like they would have planned for theatrical release in October.
I mean, Zack Snyder said his
IMAX.
His ideal screening of this cut of his film is IMAX and black and white.
I don't see Warner Brothers letting him do black and white for the HBO release. Like they're gonna be like, nah.
I can see. So
They'll give the option.
Do you own Logan on DVD?
I do not.
There is it's called Logan Noir.
Yeah.
It's a black and white version. Actually, like kind of works for that film.
It works, and I feel like I've seen something saying that like the director knew that going in.
Oh yeah,
like,
no,
it was something that it was shot for.
That's why the colors are so drab and stuff, because of it. And that's why there's certain pieces of like the little whatever X-23's clothes are designed to pop more so that she look more white, so she looks more pure. And stuff like that, like so.
Okay, yeah. So
white, she's wearing lighter color. Yeah. He filmed it as you would film a black and white film.
Yeah.
But still using color and making it have that Western feel.
Yeah.
So, like, it worked very well.
It would be funny to see it with like a film grain stock over it, but then boost the saturation like in the same way like John Wayne movies, like just like the oranges are way too bright and the blues pop way too much because someone just went and colored it in. That'd be funny. But yeah, the whole black and white thing is just I 100% think it's just to cover up like missing pieces as far as like visuals go, which is something that Zack Snyder obviously cares more about than anything else is the visuals.
Oh, 100%. Zack Snyder is first and foremost a visual storyteller.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about the main content. Like he's like, I'm Batman kills because why not? And so like you can see that he doesn't give as much of a care about that, but he has great visuals.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of his visuals, the ultimate cut of Batman v Superman, we just get like a nice shot of Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, just in it,
full
contributes to nothing.
Full glory.
He's just in the shower.
That scene in black and white would be a big nut moment. That's art. Do you think however they resurrect Superman in the Snyder Cut, do you think Zack Snyder would make Henry Cavill do it nude?
That's why he's so turned off of being in the more Zack Snyder stuff.
It seems like that's something Zack Snyder would do, or even like put him in like a little thong and then make it like blurry, you know, like fog or something.
I could see that. I could see that, like him rising from the ooze, like inside that like chamber and just being like. I mean, like the audience isn't gonna be that mad about it, but it's still just like we don't need this gratuitousness. And he's obviously down, like we've seen The Witcher, but.
Does Superman have genitals? Like, I mean, I know he's humanoid.
Yeah, you'd think he has to. What if he might have more than one?
It's just like a Davy Jones situation down there. 'Cause
very unattractive.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously it's like kind of like yeah, he does because he's humanoid or whatever.
And he has kids in the comics.
And he has kids, but I mean, animals have kids, but not all animals have like what a human penis looks like.
That's true. I mean, but not all animals are humanoid.
Well, yeah, yeah. I guess. You ever see an ape's?
I have not.
Me neither.
Would you like me? I got the laptop right here. Would you like me to Google it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Let's do it.
We are probably not going to overlay this image for the people at home, but if you'd like to follow along.
I'm Googling ape penis.
Yep.
Here we go.
APE space pen 15. Wait, why did human evolve big penises but small testicles?
Why does it sound like something an ape Googled?
Man, they must have written that about me because my balls are tiny.
Oh, shit. This one's hung.
Where? I can't even see it.
That's,
that's his. Isn't that his balls?
yeah, it's his. I don't like the way he's standing.
Maybe he just posted TF up. I like how like the 10th image is just Harambe. Oh, the article that the first article that pops up, the cover image is Harambe. Oh, here, click on the sketch, right there next to Harambe.
Yes.
There we go.
Or what are these?
I believe those are of the animal kingdom.
Obviously they're two. But
Yo,
this one's human, right?
Yo, number F looks deadly. F and E look scary. E looks like a gardening tool. Is G what an uncircumcised penis looks like?
No.
It looks like a coming out of the Mario pipe.
This is tragic because we can't put this up on screen.
Let's put it up on screen, but pixelate it so if people Google it, they know roughly which one they're looking for.
I guess I'm saving this image to my desktop.
Yeah. I would screenshot it just so that way you don't have all the metadata from that actual image on your computer.
No, missed it.
Yo, actually, what's the first one? A?
That looks venomous.
That's got to be like a rhinoceros or something.
I'm gonna open the article so I can get it without the.
Which out of these ones, which one do you think Superman looks like? I'm betting A.
I'd be willing to go H.
H definitely just looks like a snail crawling out of its shell.
One last thing about this graph. What do you think these represent?
I think that's a measurement.
Is that a measurement?
Yeah, so I'm assuming each space is either an inch or a centimeter.
So E and H are absolutely gigantic.
Yes. Well, no, I think the rest are just small. Like none of these are big because if they're centimeters, they're tiny.
Yeah.
If they're inches, they're like
also tiny.
Also pretty small because H is the only one that's like more than 5.
Yeah, 6.
Okay.
And then E is. Yeah, no, this is making me extremely uncomfortable. But yes,
well, I guess they're talking about animals, so yeah, they're probably small. Well, this has been Biology Hour. Oh, well, we do actually see his penis in Man of Steel.
Yeah, as a child, right?
Yeah.
And that's weird. And I don't like that.
Don't think we need Baby Ween on the big screen. Or any screen.
Any screen.
Arguably.
I mean, I would argue we need it less on the small screen than we do on the big screen.
I say we should just get rid of penises in general.
Yeah.
Cut him off
Yeah, it's a requirement at birth.
right at the source. Circumcision was the first step in that direction. I think we need to go to the final step and just be Ken dolls. I think all men should be Ken dolls. Be more physically attractive, in my opinion.
Sip your water after that.
I mean, we don't have to have that discussion, but like, I don't know.
I mean that
Action figures look cooler than regular dudes.
True. That brings up the question though. Do you think Thanos has a peen?
Yes, 10 out of 10. It's a giant hog.
Do you think it's humanoid?
Yes, he's got the thickest lap hog in the galaxy.
Lap hog. Lap hog.
Thanos is the type of that it's like people use the C word for it. And by that I mean
Yeah.
you should that. The word. I really like the idea of talking about what words we're but we don't know which ones are going to be.
Oh, and you're saying
Every we need to actually use like the real sound for that sentence.
Yeah.
Does the procreation between Lois Lane and Clark Kent present any issues? Because in my head, I immediately go to the scene in Hancock, Will Smith classic, circa 2009, the unrated cut, the director's cut, where he is having a evening with a prostitute, a lady of the night, I should say. I just remember, like, he says something, and they're, like, doing it, and then he, like, throws her across the room, and then just, like, suddenly the ceiling blows up, like a shotgun blast goes through it. You're like, oh. And he's not even close to Superman power.
No.
Like, he's, like, he's, like, 2/3 Superman strength.
My thing
Something
is,
in there.
So you're going to the the strength of ejaculation.
Yes. Assuming he has a penis that can fit inside of a human.
My thing is, are there like, because you have sex with a gorilla, you're not gonna have a half human, half gorilla baby. Is his DNA too different that like would that cause problems?
Do we know that for a fact?
I think so. The gorilla thing? I think so.
Like, I'm not saying that we should try, but has anyone tried? Even in a test tube, like, has that been tried?
I'm going on incognito mode and making a Google real quick on my phone.
Can you impregnate a gorilla? Asking for a friend.
Can humans crossbreed?
I feel like you can. Because, like, dogs do. And, like, not all dogs are technically the same thing. Like, I don't think a human could have a dolphin baby, but it could have a gorilla baby. Like, we're asking some big brain high thoughts, but
probably not. Ethical considerations preclude definitive research on the subject, but it's safe to say that human DNA has become so different from that of other animals that interbreeding would be likely impossible.
Okay, that makes sense. Because like I understand why we'll never know for a fact because no one's gonna try that for good reason.
Yeah, for
no
sure.
one should.
For
no
sure.
one should do that. But like I was just thinking in the test tube, there's got to be someone that's been like, oh, take this gene and that gene and blah blah blah. But interesting. So
I just feel like there's got to be some sort of incompatibility. But no, I've never thought about him blowing a hole in her.
that would be they might have to turkey baste it.
But yeah, Snyder Cut. Let's
Well-
go back.
One more thing. One more thing. There's an episode in Smallville where he doesn't sleep with Lana because he like insinuates that like he would hurt her. And I don't know if that's supposed to be like he doesn't have full control yet because he's a teenager, or if it's like
Nah, I've
I
put
just
holes in
don't.
my
I
ceiling.
don't want to. Yeah, like when I'm up here yerking it in the barn, like I'd be.
You know how there's that big hole in the
Me and
roof of the
Pa
barn?
Kent have like we filled that hole many times, but it just keeps coming back.
We don't know what it is.
A meteor shower or something.
And then he kicks a piece of lotion or a bottle of lotion into a haystack.
Yeah, Superman.
Meteor shower. Just go-
Yeah, they call my E-Jack the meteor shower.
You just said E-Jack.
Yeah. Superman's lap hog aside, tentatively, optimistically, sort of excited about the Snyder Cut. Just because it's just
See,
content.
yeah, I'm not optimistically excited at all, but I'm so excited to watch 4 hours of this train wreck, whatever it is. Like, I don't think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm excited to have the content to view. Like in the same way, I see a YouTube video that grabs my eye, whether I'm gonna like it or not. It's like, yeah, this is something for me to do for 20 minutes. You know, my only problem with it overall is that it is probably like the first step to Zack Snyder having more things to do for Warner Brothers, or even just DC.
I just want that part of the DC EU to be done.
Yeah, I don't want the Ben Affleck HBO Max.
No.
I don't want
That
as much as I like Joe Manganiello as Slade, like as a concept. Don't need a Slade show.
No.
Don't need a Slade spinoff. Recast him as Slade in a few years. Like he's gonna be fun. Like he's not gonna age out of that role anytime soon.
Or do what you're doing with Margot Robbie. Like
Yeah, or Gal Gadot. Like
like they're still gonna exist.
fresh reboot, kind of.
So toss them into
A soft reboot.
Robert Pattinson's.
Yeah,
I don't give a
yeah.
He's good for the role. I don't give a
Do you think they're gonna do Ra's al Ghul in Robert Pattinson's version?
I don't think we'll see him. I don't think we're gonna get flashbacks to training.
But it'll be.
But it better
at some
be.
point
Yeah.
it'll be. Yeah.
Well,
they would be foolish to do it in the first movie because then it's just Batman Begins.
Exactly.
Type of thing, but.
And the fact that they've emphasized so heavily that this isn't an origin, it's year 2, and then we
yeah.
get hints at the origin and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like that's perfect.
Yeah. Maybe if he has like a sword up in the Batcave or something.
Yeah, it's the classic Middle
Yeah.
Eastern
the like scabbard.
Yeah.
That would be really cool if it's like we could get at some point in the series the fight between Ra's and Batman where he's only wearing the cowl but he's still shirtless.
That's a good look.
That is a great look. That's also classic 80s Batman though, where he's just got way too hairy of a chest.
And he's
like it's like Tom Selleck as Batman.
And he's built like a box.
yeah. It's Wolverine Batman looking chest, but damn, I would love to see that. They should have done that for the Arrow fight with Ra's al Ghul. He's wearing just the hood, but then it like
because the hood from the island is.
Oh, it is
right
just
here.
the shoulder piece. Yeah, that's right. Oh, that would have been so stupid. He's wearing the hood and the mask.
Quick CW side tangent. You should hear the announcement yesterday.
Black Lightning.
Yeah,
is
Black
canceled.
Lightning. Yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah,
Black Lightning being canceled. So that's Supergirl and Black Lightning still both ending.
and a recast of Batwoman.
And a recast of Batwoman. So all that's unchanged, and then Flash is getting worse.
Flash will be canceled soon.
I'm calling it right now. Flash's next season that they announce will be announced as the last season.
I see
And
that.
then Legends of Tomorrow will also be announced for the last season probably. Because
What are they at? Are they at 4 or 5?
5, I think.
They're about to have 5.
Yeah, because I watched 3.
I was gonna say I watched the first one, then took a break for a couple years, and then I think rewatched 2 and 3.
Yeah,
because I had only
3
seen
was
like
one
an
with
episode.
Constantine.
Yeah,
Was
so
the
I
first one with
think
Constantine.
I maybe I haven't even finished 3.
I
How's that end? Spoil.
If I remember correctly, Constantine brings the head of the dragon to the team, and he's like, "Look what you blokes fucked up."
Head of the dragon, as in the guy from Arrow, or the
No,
magic head of the
An
dragon?
actual head of a dragon.
Oh.
that he cut off, and he was like, "You guys fixed this timeline, but you screwed everything else up."
Oh, and that's like the teaser for season
Yeah.
4. Oh, okay, I definitely haven't seen that.
I think that might have been end of season. I don't know. If you haven't seen that, it's probably end of season 3. That was a fun one just to watch, but it wasn't good or anything. Like it was never good.
Yeah, it wasn't like season 1 of Flash or 2 of Arrow where it's like actually a good
and
show.
Flash, since the season with Savitar, has just been plummeting.
That's actually where I stopped.
Yeah, no, it's gotten worse.
I've seen crossover episodes since then, but that's it. Like
I should probably finish Arrow just so I can have a full opinion on it. And there's like 2 seasons left that I haven't watched.
I'm glad I finished Arrow because I think out of all of the CW superhero shows, Smallville not included, obviously, because it's different universe. Out of all the Arrowverse shows, I think it's the best. Like it has the best ratio. Like it's got 2 great, 2 or 3 good to okay, and 2 bad. Whereas Flash pretty much just has like
Flash
one
literally-
great, one good, and then the rest are bad. Yeah. And then the rest were never really that good in the first place. Also, Arrow started it all, so
Yeah.
there's that extra like
Like, yeah, you feel kind of
attached to it a
I
little
just-
bit more.
the way they took that their romantic relationships in that show was just such a joke.
It's classic like sitcom or soap opera writing where they're writing season to season and listening to fans, which I don't think listening to fans is a bad thing, but when you have a show on the CW, fans there's a large
Fans
spectrum
suck.
of types of fans. Yeah.
So you watched Supernatural.
Yes.
So do you know anything that happens in this final season? This is the only season where I've watched any sort of clip from, and some ridiculous. Like, I have no supernatural knowledge, but I've watched like 4 or 5 clips, and it's so strange.
I've seen what's the final season? 13 or 14?
15.
15. Okay. So I've watched up through 14. No, I've seen all through 13 and some of 14.
Okay.
So I like know vague things about where the plot, like where the big bad was going towards the end of 14, but I don't really know anything about
Okay,
the final
so
season yet.
I'm interested to hear your opinions when you finish it all because
Okay, yeah. My plan is to finish, like,
It's
to
the perfect-
rewatch 14 and 15 together once it's all done.
it's all done.
Oh, it is. It's
yeah,
out
it
now.
ended last week.
Oh, that makes sense. then.
I think this final season, from what I know, because I've just been reading people's thoughts and watching random clips.
Yeah.
I think it's the worst type of mix of listening to the fans while also not listening to the fans at the same time.
Oh,
So
like so
they're-
they fall
they're
into like the Return of the Jedi.
They're doing
type of,
fan service for some stuff, but then trying to subvert expectations for other stuff,
Oof,
which
that's
is
tough.
yeah.
I mean, luckily I'm not like I like the show, but I'm not like so attached
yeah.
to it that I don't think I'll be like super disappointed. I just hope that I at least get some of the fan service. Like, oh boy,
I'm so excited.
oh boy.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on a later episode.
Yeah, that sounds
So
good.
you gotta stay tuned, keep watching.
Stay tuned and rewatch Supernatural if you haven't already.
But they're also doing that Superman and Lois show that I completely forgot about.
Yes, which
So it kind of feels like they might be trying to reboot. They're not rebrand the CW universe, which is very interesting.
yeah, which it'd be interesting to see Flash get canceled, but Barry's still a character on a Justice League
Well,
style team up episode
yeah.
or two.
And that's how Supergirl's gonna stay around, is that she'll pop up in Superman.
Yep. Interesting.
What if we get a Batman spinoff?
That's what I was wondering
Because
because
they're obviously not afraid to do it anymore.
Arrow was the surrogate Batman forever until we got Batwoman, which was like, okay, cool, and both existed at the same
Yeah.
time, which was cool. But I don't want to spoil anything, but Stephen Amell will no longer be playing Arrow. That's all we'll have to
Yeah.
say. And now we have a new Batwoman, which doesn't really change much, all things considered, for
And-
like a team up
yeah.
style episode. Like you still have a Bat character,
Yeah.
but
I think if the rumor I read is confirmed, this new Batwoman starts as a drug dealer, which is a very rough way to start introducing your person of color character, but
ooh,
that's
also just interesting way to start as a Bat
yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
I mean, but isn't there that new Green Arrow show coming out too? Green Arrow and the Canaries, where it's his daughter.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think that got announced, but I have not heard anything.
Neither have
about
I.
it. Yeah, because I remember it got announced at the end of Arrow season 8 or 8. It would be interesting to see them because they can definitely pull in a. I could see them not pulling in a Batman just because they're like, look, we gave you Superman just because we had Supergirl and it was successful.
Yeah.
But too much is riding on Pattinson's Batman. We don't.
Yeah,
we already
I
have
could
enough
see-
of a mess with
yeah.
the Snyder Cut and the Batman.
And then Flashpoint
and
having
then
Michael Keaton.
Flashpoint. Oh my god.
They're like, yeah, we don't need a fourth.
yeah.
I do. One thing I really appreciate about what DC's doing is that they're not acting like their fans are stupid. Whereas,
Explain.
because they were talking about it during Fandom, Jim Lee was talking about it, and whatever the head of Warner Bros. They were talking about how if Batman's played by a different actor, people will understand it's different stories. Like, if it's in a different context, people will be able to understand that they're not connected. And it's like, that's completely fair. Like, that's why they said that they were okay with Superman being on CW
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that, and like there have been 2 Flashes because it's a different medium. It's obviously not connect. Like he's not the Robert Pattinson isn't the Batman that we've seen with Henry Cavill's Superman, so they're probably not connected. And it's like that's cool that they're not like trying to handhold.
That's cool because because hand-holding isn't for the fans, but I will say that's a good thing for the fans, which works because we are those.
Yeah.
But I do still think there's a large portion of
that's gonna get confused.
that will be confused because I can't think of anything like my parents or any like adults that are not into comics that I've heard, but like I know there's plenty of people that are like, oh, in the event like Endgame, like, oh, why is not Batman coming through a portal or something? You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of like, just like very casual.
That was a problem that I saw a lot online with Joker. Was people were like, so this is the Joker that'll be with Ben Affleck? It's like no, it's its own thing, and people had a hard time grasping that it was its own thing. So I think as long as they make it clear,
yeah.
And I mean it's hard to make it clear, but at the same time. Most casual viewers will either Google afterwards and figure out, oh, it's not connected because they will.
I don't know, because I had a friend who saw Infinity War, and I'm not gonna name him on the pod because this is kind of calling him out, but this is a bit of an exposure. But he said that Infinity War was dumb because he didn't even know half the characters. He's like, all these people didn't have introductions, and it made no sense. And I was like, oh, well, have you seen Civil War X, Y, or Z? And he's like, no, I've only seen Avengers 1 and 2 and all 3 Iron Man and Cap movies. So he didn't know.
Well, see, that's just being ill-prepared.
But that's the thing, though, is that not everybody, it's not appointment, whatever. Like the Avengers movies, if you've seen one of them, you're most likely going to see the next. But if you watch Iron Man 1, doesn't mean you're going to watch Thor 1.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know?
I do
for a casual person.
I do think like we're in a world now though I think where there's enough people like us around people where they'll be like, hey, I know you like this thing, I had a question about the movie I just saw. I get texts from family
that's
members.
why we had that conversation is because he was like, yeah, it didn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
exactly.
Like, who's
and then you explained it and it's like, oh
yeah,
and then they feel dumb and you're like, no, don't feel dumb because
no, then I belittle them.
I saw a TikTok that was like talking about positivity about Star Wars. This is completely it. And he's like, if you're only watching Mandalorian because you like Baby Yoda, that's okay. And he just keeps going. Talking about, he's like, if you want to keep exploring the universe and find new Star Wars stuff that you like, do that for sure. If you don't, if this is all you ever watch for Star Wars, that's fine. But I am gonna gatekeep. It's like, damn, straight up.
Yeah, well, and I think that's like one of the like, I mean, you could look at it as good or bad, but like the MCU has created a bunch of people that would never have been comic fans ever that are now like superheroes, which maybe doesn't translate to DC immediately until DC has some more successful properties. But I mean, everybody's a Batman fan, like it like just in general, like, you know what I mean? Like my dad will see the Batman, maybe not in theaters, but like on his own without me in the picture, he would still see that movie.
I'm gonna call somebody out like you did. I'm not gonna say her name, but my younger sister, so she knows exactly who she is.
So that some slight detective work can be done here.
She hates Batman because she likes Marvel. She thinks she's one of those people who's like, it's not mutually exclusive. You can like, that's the best part about what like this comic book renaissance over the last 10, 15 years. It's like everything's for everybody.
Yeah, no, big time. And I think that's like why so many people like Batman or Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Because they're either, I mean, for a multitude of reasons, they're likable. But yeah, it appeals to a bunch of different people.
It's more powerful. And it's like, you don't have to, those are, Batman, Spider-Man specifically, you don't have to be deep in any of the lore or anything.
No, well, and that's the thing about those two, again, is like we've seen their origins done
so
by
many
multiple different times. On
everybody knows
movies,
Uncle Ben gets shot, and so do Batman's parents.
Exactly, because like I'd say out of the let's tighten up the scope. Out of people in America, if they have not seen the Raimi Spider-Man movies, they have either heard of Uncle Ben or seen at least one MCU movie starring Spider-Man. And then the third Venn diagram, that's probably the smallest, is seeing the Andrew Garfield movies. But like anybody from age 16 to 60, I'd say.
To be fair, though, that the MCU bubble, nobody if all they know of Spider-Man is the MCU,
That's true.
they don't know about Uncle Ben.
Well, if they've seen Homecoming, they mention it.
I don't think they say Uncle Ben though. I think she says your uncle, or she says either says your uncle or she calls him Ben.
Well, Peter calls him Ben because
See, but Ben could have
yeah,
been an old high
yeah,
school friend.
Yeah. But it's when he's talking to Ned about like Aunt May not knowing that he's Spider-Man when Ned finds out. So you're right, but I think
no, for sure.
and even more so for Batman because
There's so
the
many of them.
89 Batman up until
every Batman movie. I'm really
even
hoping
Joker has it, and
Yeah.
it's not a Batman movie.
I'm really hoping that we don't see the origin, but we see
We're-
his.
We're gonna see it.
I'd be fine. I'd be fine seeing it. That
Yeah.
one's so quick. It's them walking out of a movie theater into an alley, and then his parents get shot, and the pearls fall everywhere. That's all we need.
No. Yes, yeah. Continue. Sorry.
I just think, because like I think the way they did it in Batman vs Superman was fantastic, just in the intro. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
I mean, like I'm not gonna say that the way it was done was bad, but it was completely unnecessary.
Oh, 100%. I'm not saying it was
Completely
needed at all.
unnecessary, Yeah.
I would just like, because a lot of the time Bruce is a sentimental guy
yeah.
with his Batcave full of goodies.
And he's got like the gun that killed his parents in a glass case or something.
What he most commonly does is it's either the pearls
Mhm.
that he strung back together or the movie ticket, and it's like
Yeah.
just something like that. That's all I
Yeah.
need.
Yeah.
And like he stops and looks at it for a second while something big's happening. It's like
Yeah.
all I need.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that, or even like there's probably gonna be an Alfred line about like I was in charge of raising you, or something along those
How
lines.
would Martha feel, Master Bruce?
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Master Bruce. TikTok of the week. Let's go.
Let's do this. I've been liking more often.
Yeah, I was very excited this week. I have a few
good.
options here.
None of the ones you sent me, right?
No. There was a couple that I was about to send you, but I was like, nah, this could be a TikTok.
This is how Tom Holland drives a car. Unlike England. Spider-Man.
And that's it.
That's great. That's my comedy 10 out of 10. That's funny.
And he's just sitting there.
Just straight.
I like England.
I just wish you would have given us a few octaves up, like Spider-Man. Let me turn up my volume here.
I came in 3.14 seconds. Call that a cream pie.
Zach, 2 inches is average.
Really?
No!
Did you get that math joke?
I did get that math joke. It's pretty
Bro, math.
You got an honorable mention?
I do have an honorable mention. Maybe I sent it to
Man, I'm finna whip this hoe.
I watched this like 10 times, and in my head was trying to think how I could recreate this in live action.
Did you come to the conclusion you can't?
Yeah, well, one, I don't know anyone with a dog big enough.
I mean, it's a big dog.
It's a big
You gotta
dog.
have a
Like
big
even
dog.
even to like make it like I guess my sister is a German Shepherd, but that's in a different state and city, so
I mean,
not great. But, yeah, that killed me. The fact that was the thing.
Yeah.
Also, that audio is still great.
yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
really,
whip this
yeah,
out.
Really funny.
That kid
quality.
is funny. There's a couple. He's got a couple sound bites.
High quality.
Were good Twitter memes for a while.
That was good. Those were some good ones. This was a good week. I mean, this just
And TikTok keep getting better and better.
yeah. Oh yeah. It's
We're in a TikTok renaissance.
for the first time this last weekend. I got a dance TikTok, straight
Mm.
dance TikTok, and I was like, I don't know what I did. I deleted the app to reset the algorithm and re-downloaded it. I made sure do not show anything from this user again.
I get a few dance TikToks here and there.
I hate it. That's not why I'm on TikTok.
It's not why I'm on TikTok either, but I fall into the trap that they are made for. So there's some times where I view that once or twice, and I'm like, I'm not gonna like this, but I did just watch it for a third time.
That's
I'm
gonna
gonna go to
be
the next
algorithm.
one.
Did you see that the Ratatouille TikTok this morning, the Ratatouille musical, was acknowledged by Pixar? They posted on their Instagram. Here, I'll pull it up and I'll show you.
Oh my lord!
So like, TikTok stuff getting to mainstream is a very powerful.
That is it. Well, I mean, it's already like, you know, like I'm sure my mom knows who Charlie D'Amelio is, so it's already pretty powerful. But the fact that a small subsect of
It's just
TikTok,
that picture, and the caption is "The Rat of Our Dreams," which is the song.
okay,
So it's like, I'll screenshot that and put it on
like
screen.
it's like it's a wink and a nod, if not a prelude for something to come.
I think, I'm not sure about this because I don't follow anything Broadway. I think like one of the Broadway companies posted something about it too. So it's like, if a musical for Ratatouille gets made because of these people on TikTok, that's like, that changes what TikTok is completely.
Big time. Yeah, because it's one thing to have like, you know, like Charlie D'Amelio and
Getting
Ninja
her
at like an NBA game or something.
or you
Because then
get-
it's just
You
like,
get Charlie D'Amelio gets her Dunkin' Donuts coffee, so it's like,
yeah,
they're branding out, and like
Yeah.
those are people, whereas this is a project created by a bunch of like not celebrities that are just like, this is fun, let's work on it together.
yeah.
And then,
No, that is great. Did you, speaking of Miss D'Amelio, did you see that she's kind of being canceled? Like TikTok canceled, nothing crazy, but for like being just mean.
yeah, spitting the food out, right?
Yeah, spitting the food out and just being like kind of like a brat.
Yeah.
It was the overall. I didn't see the video, but I read a New York Times article, a New York Times article
Yikes.
about Charlie D'Amelio acting like a brat at the dinner table. What is America? What is this world?
What is America?
Journalism is dead. I'll say it again. Journalism's dead. I stand by that.
I get all my news from Watch Mojo.
Oh my god. There's nothing I hate more than like Watch Mojo and BuzzFeed.
What top 10 things Donald Trump did during his administration?
Here's the top 10 cameos in every Marvel movie, and it's just the Stan Lee cameos. It's like,
I remember one time I was just curious. I was just scrolling through, like, they post every other day, so like these lists get so bad. And I remember seeing shit. It was like top 10 guns in Western movies, and it's like, who's clicking this video and watching it?
it's
Like,
well, and it's a different audience for each article.
yeah, because then there's top 10 underwear scenes in movies where you got the horny
exactly
12-year-olds clicking on it.
Well, probably more than 12-year-olds, unfortunately, but yeah, it's so stupid because it's all pandering and clickbait. So and unfortunately, it's not just places like BuzzFeed. It's like the actual news now, like the important news. But we don't need to talk about that. But it's so it's all for clicks, and it's all like, it's never more than, it's like 2 paragraphs made to look like 5. It just split up with either ads or like, do you want to sign up for our email list? 10% off our premium. Blah blah blah. Like,
Well, I have a fun story kind of related to Watch Mojo. So I was hired. So I have these friends who, this was probably 2 years ago, maybe probably a year and a half, maybe just a year. I don't know. It was
a while ago.
It pre-pandemic, definitely,
yeah.
which is
Before the plague. I haven't seen you since the plague.
and I had these friends who do marketing stuff to flip businesses, and so they just like change, like they do social media stuff, and they were tasked with flipping a YouTube channel because it had over 1 million followers or subscribers and was getting like 10K views on everything, so it's like nothing. So it's like something's wrong.
Just completely rebrand it is what they're supposed to do.
And I'm going to censor the name because I don't want them to find us.
Okay.
But it's called.
Okay. Never heard of it.
And so it was the exact same as Watch Mojo, but instead of 10 things, 25 things, which is just too much.
Yeah. That is a lot.
And
Anything more than 15 or even like
10. Anything
even
more than 10.
Especially because if you're doing 25, you're not going to put a lot of time into each one. It's like 30 seconds
Yeah.
of each. Or if you are putting a lot of time, that's too long of a video.
And they were like, we don't know YouTube stuff, and you understand. So they were like, we'll pay you, come help us figure this out. I was
Yeah.
like, absolutely. And it's just because they're friends, so I was like,
Yeah.
of course. So we watched through a ton of their videos. These guys are the most uncharismatic, super misogynistic, like just like in their bedrooms, like no attempt to make it look nice. And so we start filming them, and we're like, we're gonna film them. We're gonna show like that there can be personality. It's gonna be fun. So we toss together a few and we film them. And then, because the guy who was the host was the one who was uploading it because he also worked for the company. So we had to send it to the guy that was in charge, and then he sent them to him. The guy just deleted the videos. And then
because they're too good.
Yeah, because he didn't want, because it was technically him being fired from hosting, and so we were like, I was like, if he's not gonna help, we can't do anything until he's gone, because like obviously, and so they were like, yeah, we're gonna tell our boss that we can't for this one, like this isn't a thing, and then 2 months later he was fired, and it's a different guy now, and it's like that's just such a mess, like. You gotta be able to. That's so amateur. Yeah. And then he was after I figured out he was fired. His Twitter was blowing up, and he was like, "They didn't even let us say goodbye. They deleted my goodbye video 3 times after I uploaded it." It's like, yeah, because you kept uploading it on their channel.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Like you're an employee, dude.
Yeah, it'd be one thing if he like created that channel from scratch. Like it was. Yeah.
It was not a labor of love or anything like that.
Also, if anyone cared what he personally had to say, they would follow his YouTube.
Exactly.
You know, like
like
Anthony Padilla. Like he didn't release that on Smosh. He did it on his personal.
Exactly.
That's just so
no.
gross.
There's people that are just so scummy, but like you can't sustain a channel making lists about 25 things, and the videos are 19 minutes each because you're talking about them all. Like nobody's gonna watch that long. I can hardly sit through a Watch Mojo video.
I hate Watch Mojo so much. I remember,
it just feels so cheap.
It's cheap and it's fake. It's not even like, hey, we're going to talk like this and make you think that this is interesting. Because the thing about it is, a fun fact is here, and that's a punchline. It's literally that over and over and over.
There's no, like, it's like, no, this top 10 list that you're making, it's like, unless there's numbers behind it, this is just your opinion. Why do we care about random faceless Watch Mojo ladies' opinions?
Yeah. Like, because there's no, it's just, and
it's like top 10 best Marvel superheroes.
Yeah, and then also,
I like Spider-Man the most.
And that's just driving up engagement, though, because there's a bunch of angry people in the chat being like,
you forgot what it is.
Yeah, I hate the internet.
Yeah, I mean, it's full of, but then there's so much good stuff.
Not enough, honestly. We're not doing great ratio-wise. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Transition. Okay, fight segment. Whatever we're going to officially title this, whenever we officially title it.
Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Segment. So, we are going to, if you have not watched, I mean, it's simple. I got a list of fighters. We're going to randomize. We're going to pick 2, and then they each have conditions that they're going to be put on them. As simple as that. Okay, our first fighter is Yoda.
Let's go.
And I got Shrek 4 times in a row. We've already done Shrek. Harry Potter.
Ooh,
this is the first time we have an actual, like...
I like this.
This is a fight. Okay, Yoda's condition. He throws burritos. Harry Potter's condition. He has ADHD.
Nothing changes. So Yoda throwing burritos, can he still use a lightsaber?
I'd assume so. I just assume that's part of his
arsenal. He also has
like
a chest strap of burritos. Okay, I'm okay with that then. So we're getting prequel Yoda or sequel Yoda or Tridge Yoda? I guess.
Well, not sequel Yoda because he's
dead.
Let's say Yoda in his prime. I mean that we've seen
Attack of the
prequels.
Clones.
Yeah. When he's doing all the flips and stuff. Like you remember in Lego Star Wars when you would ignite the lightsaber and he'd move like doing his little flips.
Damn. I mean, just based off of like peak Yoda, I feel like it's a pretty strong argument for Yoda, just because for being so little and having such a, because obviously a wand is super powerful, but it's only deadly if the user wants it to be, whereas a lightsaber is always deadly.
Yeah. But if we're doing Yoda at his peak, Harry Potter's also at his peak, which I don't know enough about. I've only watched the movies.
I say just
he's good at magic.
End of the last movie.
So he's good at magic.
Yeah. I don't think. Let's just even say he has the Elder Wand, because why not?
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter because he's not fighting another magic user.
Yeah.
But, Yeah.
I think
Because I think Yoda, because one, Harry Potter's not immediately gonna go Avada Kedavra first off. He's gonna shoot a few stupefies,
Yeah.
which Yoda will deflect like a
And-
blaster.
so. He sees Yoda, and the first thought is,
That's Dobby.
"Why aren't you in Gringotts?"
Yeah, why aren't you in Gringotts, or like you should be a
You-
slave?
yeah. He's like, "Oh, Dobby's dad is here to
Yeah.
kill me."
Yeah, Dobby's grandfather.
And then he ignites. You should add a lightsaber.
Yeah, I'll add a lightsaber. And then you Expecto Patronum.
And then he gets distracted because he has ADHD.
Yeah, and then he's well, and then Yoda throws a burrito, and he watches the burrito, and he maybe runs over to the burrito to like inspect it.
He's watching the burrito, and Yoda just throws his lightsaber and just cuts off his head.
I feel like it's like Yoda throws the burrito, ADH Harry Potter in slow mo, and it's that Enya song. And then at the same time, it's a slow mo of Yoda in his like third tuck and roll in midair in like the 10 feet of distance. He's doing a flow, and he does like an upside down, upside down lightsaber, just off the top, just decapitates Harry Potter.
It was the ADHD that got him.
I think that's his downfall.
Yeah.
The burritos were an advantage, and the ADHD was a disadvantage. Interesting how that works. Because, flip the switch and it. I just flipped the switch. Flip, flip. Flip, flip.
That was weird.
All right. Well, this has been another episode
Yeah.
of the Best Boys podcast. I've been Preston.
And I have been Jeremy.
Here are our socials right down
Yeah,
here
give
next
us
to
a
my
follow.
thighs.
Don't look at his thighs. It's like the
Look at this tan line.
You've ever been to Disneyland?
Yeah.
You know that Indiana Jones ride?
Yeah.
They're like, don't look in the eyes of the idol.
Ah, yes.
It's like your thighs.
That is my thighs. Don't look in the eyes of the thighs.
Yeah, follow us on everything. Like us, subscribe us.
Like, subscribe, notify, comment, rate, leave a review.
Give me a text.
Smash the like button. All right, yeah.
Yeah. Tune in next week for when we
Christmas.
go sicko mode.